Hey everybody, it's Jenna McLeod here from HP Gagetown. I'm here today with your tip number 3 in our injury prevention series. Tip number 3 is all about the warm-up. Do you know the difference between a static and dynamic stretch? So a warm-up should be dynamic, meaning that you're not holding a muscle in a lengthened position for any length of time. So a lengthened position would be a stretch like this, holding a shoulder stretch for 30 seconds. A dynamic movement would be something like this, taking your joints through range of motion, not holding it. So you're warming up your body, preparing it for the movements that you're about to ask it to do. That's dynamic. So I like to use the rubber band theory when I explain the difference between dynamic and static. Imagine taking an elastic band out of the freezer and pulling on it. What do you think will happen? Of course it will break. It's frigid, there's no flexibility in it, it will break. Now think about your muscle as that elastic band. You take that same elastic band out of the freezer, you put it in your hands and you warm it up. And you spend maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes warming it up in your hands. Now that muscle, that elastic band, is now warm and flexible and more pliable. Think about that as your muscle. Okay? So have your warm-ups be dynamic in nature, preparing your body for what it's about to do. 15 to 20 minutes might seem like a lot for a warm-up, but if you're about to participate in a sport, this is what you should be aiming for. So it should be specific to that sport. The exercises that you do in your dynamic warm-up should prepare you for that sport. So if you have a sport like soccer, for instance, as an example, that involves a lot of cutting, quick movements, pivoting even, then you would want to incorporate that in your warm-up to help prepare you for the sport. So if you do spend 15 to 20 minutes warming up with that sports-specific warm-up prior to your game, it can actually decrease injuries by 40%. Okay, so how many of you just put on the ball hockey gear and go? No warm-up required. So maybe now, if you can decrease those risks by 40% for getting injured, you might think that you should do a warm-up prior to. Your exercises should be specific to the movements that you're going to be doing in your training or sport. So even if you're just working out as your regular workout routine, think about what body parts you're going to be working out that day and how you might involve a dynamic warm-up to prepare yourself for that. So it's not just about preparing yourself physically, it's also about preparing yourself mentally. So if you can kind of run through in your mind when you're doing that dynamic warm-up, what you're about to do, your internal temperature increases a little bit, you might start to sweat a little, your mind is then preparing itself for the workout because you're practicing some of those movements at a lower pace, and you gradually increase that warm-up pace or intensity so that at the end of the warm-up, there's no definite end to warm-up, start to training session. It just, you're ready to start the intensity of your workout at the end point of your warm-up. Okay, so remember, warm up dynamically, take your time, especially in cold year weather like today when you might need a little extra time to increase that body temperature and get those muscles warm and prepared for activity. So take anywhere between 10, 15, even 20 minutes if you have to prepare yourself for your workout. Happy warm-ups!